Hello and welcome. Rahul, you're watching me on my YouTube channel for talks, and if you're watching me consistently, welcome back to my channel. See, whenever I come in front of you, I have a purpose. I want to instill positivity and talk something special, so that whenever you are wasting your time in scrolling up and down and watching some reels, you'll get my videos in your feed, and that is where your valuable time will start, because I know exactly that if you'll be investing your time in something valuable, you will end up getting some knowledge, because in this information is, if you have better knowledge, if you have better skills, you can certainly claim some opportunity, and if you want to make better livelihood, you have to be competent, you have to be someone who can have multitude of knowledge and comprehensive ability that can set the way forward. See, whenever we talk about real estate, everybody knows that there are big opportunity in real estate. I'm not going to talk about real estate, but some property. If you are going to invest, you should know exactly, you know, what are the things that you should take care of while you're buying a property. If you're taking a loan, as a banker, I will suggest you, not to, forget paying three EMIs, because what will happen if you will bounce your three EMIs? Your loan directly goes into NPA, non-performing assets, and once it becomes non-performing asset, bank thinks that the trust between borrower and the bank has been broken. You know, so bank demands from you after 3 months. Total outstanding, not the three EMIs and interest upon that, but total outstanding, whatever loan you have taken, and remaining amount that the loan is overdue, they will ask and demand to pay everything. So it becomes a huge problem for you. And if you're really searching some properties, which banks are selling in auctions, I will tell you the process exactly how banks are selling all these properties and where you can get what are the procedures. See, if you really want to buy in auctions, you have opportunity to go, on e-Bikri site of each and every bank, and there you can see what are the properties listed, what are their photos you can view there. And if you really want to participate in auction, you have to deposit some money, earnest money deposit, EMD, which is 10% of reserve price for any property. They will fix a base price that is called reserve price for that very property. You have to pay 10% of that as EMD. Then you will be able to participate. And these auctions are not happening physically, that you see, they are doing bidding sitting across each other, this much I am and that much, that's a second person. No, the deals has gone, it is happening online. E-auction is happening, where you will be given some credentials when you will deposit, some money in your wallet, and you will provide your KYC. When your KYC will be approved online, you will get some credentials and you will be able to bid online. You are not knowing who is next to you, only the figure will goes up in bidding on auction date. That is what you will see there. But once the highest bid you will make, you'll have to pay 25% of the bidding amount, the sale amount, and you will be able to pay on that very day or the next day. Only one day will be given to you. Within next day you have to pay that 25%. Thereafter you will be, required to pay the remaining 75% within 15 days. If you will pay off within 15 days, they will give you sales certificate. Authorized officer of that very bank will give you sales certificate. Otherwise, you will be given, extended time up to 3 months, 90 days, where a secured creditor who will finance you that 75% of that very property, that agreement will happen, or you have to show that, then you will be given that time opportunity of 90 days, but the interest will be levied. That is what in the SARFAESI Act. I'm talking about SARFAESI Act, not the personal banking information. How SARFAESI Acts are executed. So you'll be able to bid that very property, and you'll be able to get that very property sold to you in that very auction. So these are the way, by which you can get a bank property. But 25% of it, of 1 crore, suppose 1 crore value of that property, and 25 lakh rupee you have to pay in one day. So you should have liquid cash and arrangements, remaining 75% from any creditor, valuable creditor who can credit you within 20 days, So that much effort you have to put in order to get bank auction property. But these are really little value, we can say that. So people see that, good, you can get good property in minimum and average value. That is what they say. But sometimes if you are bidding higher, looking at the property, it may goes up as well. So you have to fix your upper price where you are bidding at, not to get sway away in emotions. So you have to control your emotion in order to get best out of that very property. For banks, if they are doing loans to you, so SARFAESI Act is a process. Once the loan become NPA, they will give you demand notice. Authorized officer will give you demand notice. They will send you through post, or they will registry post as well. And when you will not find it, they may come to that very property and they will affix, in a conspicuous position where it will be visible, a notice, demand notice, where two persons will witness that along with mobile number and address. Once the demand notice will be pasted there, you have 60 days in your hand. The borrower gets 60 days, the guarantor mortgager gets 60 days. Demand notice period is for 60 days. Within that period, if you approach bank, if you have any misunderstanding, you can raise that issue and authorized officer will solve that problem within 15 days. But after 60 days, you won't get any time. So be careful. So yeah, there are other ways. After 60 days, when demand notice will get time pass, then they will come for possession. If you have occupied that very building, they will take symbolic position and they will insist for physical position. If you're not giving that, then they have authority under section 14. They can approach DM and Chief Judicial Magistrate for eviction notice as well. So they will file a caveat there, they will file a appeal there, and they may get order within 30 days, or they may expect up to 30 to 60 days, but they may get order within 30 days, and they will get possession within 25 days with the help of police and people. And that is what they will get. And once the physical possession has been obtained by bank, they will prepare to give you sale notice. For sale notice, banks, before sale notice, after possession, banks goes for valuation, valuer will do valuation, and reserve price will be set after possession, by the security enforcement committee. That is what they will do. And after that, the sale notice, possession will be published in English language and vernacular language as well. The demand notice will also be published in both the papers, and here sale notice, this will be for 30 days exactly, because they want to give you 30 days sale notice. The sale notice will be given also in newspaper as well. After 30 days, when the auction date will come, before auction date they will publish the reserve price, and photos are already online on eBay site. If you want to buy, I have told you, you have to give your your KYC, and when it is approved, you will get credential. You will bid on that VT, and already I have told you the next process, how authorized, when it will be sold, authorized officer will give you a sale certificate. So all this process for your mortgage property, and you would not get any chance, to put your word, because whenever they will appeal to district magistrate or or the CJM for possession of your building and you are not evicting it, it is the single-sided representation of each party, of the bank only. You will not get any chance to represent there. So once they will get that order, they will come with force and they will evict you. They will get physical possession. Yeah, you have chance, somewhere to file in DRT or High Court. You have chance for any remedies. But SARFAESI Act has given power to secure banks' assets, because banks are the backbone of the economy. So they know exactly these are the public money, not to interfere with. That is why they brought this law, and it is serving well. If you talk about banks' interest, it is serving well. But you have to know exactly how to protect your loan, not to, if it is a home loan or mortgage loan, do not play with your EMIs. Be disciplined and pay all these 3 EMIs consecutively. All EMIs. Don't bounce it up to 3. Don't make it NPA. It will also uproot your civil, and civil is the backbone of each and every credit that you're going to get in bank. So these are the information related to mortgage and property that I want to say you. But if you are really going to buy any property, you have to see exactly what are the certification they are providing. RERA certification is there or not, completion certificate of that very plan, has been given or not, occupancy certificate, allotment letter, thereafter you will get possession letter, no objection certificate. So all these things, when you will get, then your property becomes your, while you are talking about a builder, and you know exactly what sale deed and mother deed. When you're filing your mortgage, you should have sale deed when you are registering your property, and you should have you have to deposit when you are taking loan mother deed as well. If you don't have, they will take 30 years of certified deed, so all this process, if you have good knowledge of that, you will be knowing that. So be careful what kind of property you are going to buy and how you're taking home loan and mortgaging your property. You should be really curious, in order to know exactly how to repay your loan. And sometimes people talk about bank auction, so these properties are really good if you really want to find, but always verify where the deeds are exactly, as per law or not, where the mortgage that has happened, the title is really correct or not, the property belongs to the same party or not, because bank may do, in very few cases, may do erroneous, erroneous work or some mistakes that will cost you. So that's why you have to look into, you have to really give it to when you are bidding that, after depositing of 25%, you have some time, 15 days, you can give it to your better lawyer to verify all those documents, properly, then only you buy these properties, and once you buy, you will certainly be benefited, So these were altogether the knowledge. Thank you for listening to me. If you will be listening to me continuously, you will certainly get some deep knowledge. Thank you for listening to me.